Hi, Nathan speaking. I'm going to take you through everyday habits that will make you healthier, and these are my 5 go-to habits. So you want to be watching this. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, give it a like and leave a comment. So come with me now, let me take you through step by step each of these habits. So on this video I'm going to take you through the everyday habits to make you healthier. But of course, these are also my go-to habits. There's actually 5 habits what I use as a go-to. If I went off track, a little bit of confession, I have actually completely went off the rails. I've been eating a lot more wrong foods. In particular, I've had a lot more sweetie foods, chocolate. I haven't been going to bed at a sufficient time, which has led my sleep to be a bit corrupted overnight. And a few other things what I haven't been doing, what I'm going to share on this video. So yeah, I'm going to go back to them go-to habits, actually 5 total. So come with me and let's start with that now. But let me just show you the physique at the moment from me going off the rails. This is what I currently look like. So it's not too bad. I think it's been all thanks to the HIIT workouts I've been doing on a day-to-day basis. That's kind of kept on check. But I don't know about you, but whenever I do go off the rails, I don't necessarily suffer physique-wise immediately. It normally takes a week or so to get the full effect. So I'm sure by the end of this week, from the effects what I've done the last few weeks, I'm going to start seeing a difference in my physique. But I can certainly feel a difference in how I feel, and I really want to get that back on track. So let me go into that first habit. So let's start with habit number 1, and that is that I'm in this bedroom, ready to settle, to go to sleep at 10:30. Of course, if you haven't checked that video out about how to sleep better, check that out. I'll leave that in the description and also at the end of this video as well. But obviously there's some key factors of what you should be doing when you're in this position to settle bed, but that is key for me. If I'm here at 10:30, ready to go to sleep, I'll be asleep by 11, and that tends to have a domino effect. If I get that right, all the other habits seem to fall in place. But when I get this wrong, that's when all the other habits sort of fall off track. So yeah, I normally come up here about 9:30, have a shower, get all that ready and settled, get everything ready for the day after, and then I'm here ready to go to sleep at 10:30. So that is by far habit number 1, which is why I put that right at the top of the list. So now I'm going to go into habit number 2, and that is write down a to-do list. It's so important. But before I go into this particular habit, it really reminds me of that book, which I've listened over and over again, and that is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. What I love about it, it's such a small book, easy to read, and it's got lots of little quotes. Now it's on chapter 2, where this really reminds me of this particular to-do list, what brings it to light, and that is on chapter 2. The title is Plan Every Day in Advance. And there's a quote by a person called Adam Lankin, who is a time management expert, and he wrote, "Planning is bringing the future into present so you can do something about it now." And that is powerful for me, and that really reminds me when I do go off track with a to-do list. And like I said, number 1 is getting obviously sleep on track, but when I get this number 2 on track, it certainly really does give me clarity and everything else. So these are my go-to things what I do in this particular point. I make sure I've always got my pad and I've got a pen on my desk where I wrote down the to-do things, what I need to do present. And also I would transcend them notes onto the computer notes, which goes onto my phone as well. And these things will just remind me to do that to-do list to make sure I get them complete. And I can't express enough how much this gives me so much clarity, and it makes me get things done. So that's why this is up there as number 2, which is my everyday habit to keep things on track and keep you healthy. So we're now on habit number 3, and that is eating wholesome food, nutritious food, 80% of the time. And again, when I do go off the rails, it does tend to be more towards the food element, and that's why I put this at number 3, because as well as getting the other 2 points on point first, this is really important. So I'm actually going shopping now. I've chosen just do a whole shop today. Sometimes I'll go to a local butcher's and a local fruit and veg, but if I want to get back on track and I haven't got much time, I'll pretty much just go to one shopping mall, and this is obviously Aldi's today. So yeah, I'm going to get the shop now. So yeah, just come out of the shops. As you can see, the basket's full. So I'm going to show you briefly what's in this shopping basket. So that's all the shopping done, as you can see at the back seat. I don't tend to put it in the boot because I've got all my gym stuff in there for training. Yeah, so just go through briefly in the shopping what I did today. So obviously plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables, no processed foods, lots of obviously chocolate, crisps, even microwave meals, none of that stuff. So that's not in there at all. It's just plenty of fresh meats and fruit and veg, and obviously whole grain foods, eggs. I've got oat milk. I do have the occasional bit of milk as well, cow's milk. We have that sometimes, or maybe a little bit when we make scrambled egg. The one thing in there is I do have the coconut water first thing in the morning. I won't mention that on habit 5. However, if you do want to have a little bit more reason why I do that, then check out the quarantine video. That'd be a really good one to look out for, explaining why I have coconut water first thing in the morning. But yeah, that is habit number 3. I'm going to really hound into what I'm going to be eating this week. And obviously the next coming weeks, I'm going to get back on track with that 80-20 rule. 80% good, with a little bit of 20%, a little bit of entertainment food. So yeah, that's habit number 3. Habit number 4 is exercise most days. Now this is something which I kind of keep on point most of the time. It's very rare that I won't do this. However, what I am going to discuss is each category really briefly. So that goes through, in a week, I'll tend to do something which is cardio based. In that case, at the moment, I'll be doing walks, what I'm doing right now. And also I'll be doing my HIIT sessions, which I kind of do with my group. And I do that Monday to Friday anyway. So that's the first category. The second category is strength. And all honesty, at the moment, with the UK, they're just slowly but surely coming out of lockdown, but we're still technically in lockdown. Gyms aren't open. I've been pretty much doing dumbbells and resistant bands, lucky to do that once or twice a week. If it's normal circumstances, I'd probably do that most days, whether that's whole body approach or whether that's split body parts or whatever method I'm doing at the time. The third thing is doing exercise that involves balancing. So that would be something what I'll do in my Pilates class and my stretch class, which will be once a week. And sometimes I do specific ones to help me. So it might be a case of doing something like improving my piston squat, single leg stiff deadlifts, and other ones which I might be given. So that's something which I do practice. Like I said, at the moment it's just kind of Pilates. And the other category, again, I achieve from Pilates or doing a specific one for this, and that is improving the flexibility. That would be a proprioceptive neurofilatation stretch, and that involves tricking that opposite muscle, which they call a muscle spindon. And that is, for example, I'm sure you've done this before, when you extend your leg up to a point, so a hamstring stretch, you extend it to a point, can't move any further, so you'll push, and then you stop pushing, take a deep breath, and then it tricks it so you'll be able to bring that leg a little bit further back. So I do that very often with hamstrings, adductors, chest, and a few other ones, back, all them type of ones. But yeah, they're the 4 types of exercises what I do, and that's currently what I'm doing at the moment. So I thought I'd share that. I'm going to get that more on point with this one to get it back on track. And like I said, it is something what I do make as a priority in my day-to-day activities. And like I said, on most days I certainly will be doing that. So that brings us to habit number 5, and that is last but not least, and that is prioritising water. Now there's some tricks what I use to keep me on track, but also to get me back on track. And that is right behind me here. So let's start off with these. These are basically filtered water containers, and I have 2 of them because every time I have a glass of water, I will keep topping it up. And even if I do go through phases where I may sort of like get distracted, where I'll quickly fill up the water and go back to work, there's 2. So once one's empty, I'll make sure I start filling that up. Now the other little thing what I bought in the last month, which has been a game changer, is I bought this where it's got times on there. Now I use that for if I'm working out, if I'm out and about, if I go for walks, if I'm at my desk, I'll drink that as well. And then again, if it does happen to get emptied in that day, I'll fill it back up. But what I love about this is it's got the different times, and that just gives me that little bit of prompt to go, okay, I need to drink more water. So these are just fantastic little tricks. Again, you might choose to have bottled water, spring water, mineral water, or just use the tap. But this is quite healthy doing it this way. It's cost effective and it's convenient for you if in the essence that you're working from home like I am right now. But obviously if you work in the office, it tends to have filters there. So it's a fantastic way to keep you on point and keep you motivated to keep prioritising that water. So these are the 5 habits. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found this educational, motivational, inspirational even. And maybe you got some habits what you do to get you back on track. So please share, leave a comment, that'd be fantastic. And of course, give us a like if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, and hope you'll be back soon. Thanks.